Stalkin Peterson LLP, Shane's Pharmacy, and Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota.
Swings and lines it in the right center field. One run will come in to score. They will round the other runner. He will come to the plate. The throw not going to be in time. A two-run single for Parker O'Brien gives the Gubs a 9-7 lead.
Your baseball is also brought to you by American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, CHS River Plains, Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Ferding Electric, Pierre Closets, Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, and AGE.
2-0 pitch. That will be a line shot into left center field. That's going to get down for extra bases, and it's going to score Terwilliger. That's one way to bust out of a slump. Sunshine round second. He's on his way to third. The throw will come in. He will
Your
slide in.
baseball is also brought to you by Edward Jones Financial, Gales Gas, Lamb Motors, Xander Auto Parts, Comtech, Envirotech, First Dakota National Bank, Kruger Climate Systems, May Adam, and Hunsley Auto Body.
Here's the 0-2. Runner takes off. Terwilliger will sky this one out to center field. Out towards the wall. It is going to get out of here for a two-run shot for Cooper Terwilliger on an 0-2 pitch.
Here Baseball is also brought to you by Oahe Federal Credit Union, Kone, AirTech Heating and Cooling, Pierre Roofing and Gutters, Wagner Auto, the South Dakota Office of the Attorney General Division of Consumer Protection, and Todd's Electric.
2-0. It'll be a swinging base hit up the middle. Rounding third is Deal. The throw will come to the plate, but Deal slips and falls. The ball will still get away to the backstop. Deal will come in to score, and the Governors will win the ball game.
And now to the booth for the call of the game with KCCR award-winning sports director John Winkler.
And a good morning as we welcome you here back to the Sanford Sports Complex on this Saturday morning. Glad you're with us here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports, as it is going to be the Eights playing for the second time here in this Dakota Classic as they take on Ralston, Nebraska in their second game as well. Everybody played one game except for Yankton, who will play their two games today, as it is the Yankton team that went 1-1, but the Eights got the most important game was that first game yesterday, and the Eights were able to get a 2-0 win on a two-hit complete game shutout by Will Danberg, and then the Eights getting the RBIs from Hudson Stosher in the third and Bridger Babcock in the seventh to get that 2-0 win over Yankton to pick up the South Dakota victory. And that was a big South Dakota win for the Eights over Yankton, which will go at the end of the season standings. The only other matchup in South Dakota games was Harrisburg and Post 320, and the Rapid City Post 320 Stars beat Harrisburg 8-5 last night. Otherwise, there is no other scheduled South Dakota games, so nothing else will complete in the standings or will be filled into the standings at the end of the season. No matter who plays who at the end of this weekend, they were not originally scheduled to play, so they will not count. But as we look at this pool, Pierre is 1-0, Columbus is 1-0, and Yankton is 1-1. Kindred Vikings lost to Columbus last night 12-0 in that final game. Yankton in that second game beat Ralston, who this is the team that we're facing here this morning, and that will be an 8-7 win for Yankton over Ralston. So Pierre and Columbus, after day one, they're in the fast track to be the pool winners, but certainly there is a lot of games left to go today. And if Ralston comes and wins this first game, then beats Columbus, Nebraska late in their next game, which that's coming up next for those two teams, they're sitting at 2-1, and they're sitting in a spot to still then control their own way to get to win a pool as well. And then you also look at as the tournament continues, Columbus, obviously, if they take care of business today against Ralston and Yankton, then it couldn't line up to the fact that Pierre and Columbus could be playing for the spot and for the opportunity to be in the winner of the pool as well coming up Sunday afternoon. So there's just a lot of still to be determined. Obviously, we're only 3 games into our pool. This is only the 4th game and the first of 5 today. By the time that 7:30 rolls around for our second game, there's going to be a lot more determined on maybe a couple teams that are eliminated that can't win the pool, or a couple teams that are still still have an opportunity to win the pool, or maybe it just is hey, if Pierre wins this one, then they're going to be fighting for that pool championship on Sunday afternoon. All of those things will be kind of determined when we get to 7:30 on how things are kind of looking out. But the nice thing is that we're going to have the last game of the pool play, so we're going to know if we're playing Sunday at noon, we're going to know if Pierre wins and they can get in, or we're just going to know exactly what it takes for them to win the pool if they still can by 12 o'clock on Sunday, and then knowing if they're going to play at 6:30 Sunday night or not. But that is all still to be determined, and this Ralston team comes in 8-7 loss to Yankton last night in that second game. There was a couple 5-run innings for both those teams, but Yankton was able to come away with that 1-run win to pick up their first win of the Dakota Classic, and now Ralston looking to pick up a couple wins back-to-back here against Pierre in the first game and then Columbus Cornerstone in the second game. Everybody's got a doubleheader except for Pierre today. We bookend the days, 9:30 and 7:30 tonight. So everybody else will get their doubleheaders and be done for the day, and Pierre will have to sit around for 3 games between their 2. So it will be a long day at the ballpark, but should be a fun day with some good competition and facing a team out of state. So we're going to see a different looking lineup for both for this Aids team here in this first game. A couple of guys taking the ACT here this morning as well. So a couple of guys not here that will be here later on tonight. So just a little bit different looking lineup than we're normal seeing for this 8 squad. As they're getting done with their IO. That was pretty good swing there by Coach Elliott Life, who's doing the IO for him. A nice little silo up in the air to get the final, to give Will Eilers, the starting catcher, a chance to catch a ball. But again, coming up here in just a little bit, we've got first pitch between Pierre and Ralston. We'll have that for you, and that'll be coming up here in just right around a little less than 10 minutes from now. We'll have first pitch between Pierre and Ralston. Let's take our first break in the pregame show. We'll come back in 3 minutes and have starting lineups for you from both sides. Back in 3 minutes here on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Cooper Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota in Pierre is proud to sponsor today's game. Whether you're in the market for a brand new Ford, Lincoln, or Toyota, or a quality pre-owned vehicle, our team is here to get you back on the road in style. From tough trucks to family SUVs, we've got the selection you need and the hometown service you deserve. Browse online anytime at CapitalCityFordToyota.com. Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, where community drives us forward.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Step up to the plate with Kathy Sunshine Properties in Pierre, your go-to for buying, selling, and finding your perfect home. Whether you're looking for a cozy cottage or a spacious family home, Kathy Sunshine Properties has you covered. We're committed to helping you make your next big move, on the field or in your life. Ready to find your dream home? Call Kathy Sunshine Properties at 605-224-5588. Your home run in real estate.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
As we welcome you back, we are getting set for first pitch between Pierre and Ralston in our first game today. We will bookend the days. We'll have the first and the last game today as the Eights take on Ralston. They're coming in at 5-8 now, but 1-0 here in the Dakota Classic, where Ralston at 0-1 here in the Dakota Classic, losing 8-7 yesterday to Yankton Post 12. As we look at our starting lineups, we'll pull up both the Pierre and the Ralston lineup for you, as it is going to be for Pierre, who is the visitors in this game. Hudson Stosher will lead things off. He's the shortstop. Porter Hunsley, the center fielder, batting second. Trip Linda Kugel, the third baseman, will bat third. Will Eilers, the catcher, batting fourth. Bridger Babcock, the second baseman, batting fifth. Alec Eilers, the first baseman, will bat sixth. Hudson Schaefer, the left fielder, batting seventh. Aiden Johnson, the right fielder, batting eighth. And Carter Templeton bats ninth as he is the pitcher. For Ralston, Braden Vandervoort will lead things off. He's the shortstop. Brody Jenkins, the center fielder, batting second. Cade Sticks, the third baseman, will bat third. Josh Hendricks, the DH, batting fourth. Kason Fuccio, the catcher, will bat fifth. Landon Graham, the right fielder, batting sixth. Jason Miner, batting seventh. He's the second baseman. Luna Blechy, the left fielder, batting eighth. And Henry Freeze, the first baseman, is batting ninth. Daniel Blaufus is the pitcher for Ralston, as he is not in the batting order, as he'll be DH by Hendricks here in this game today. It is the Eights. Again, they're the road teams in this game. They'll be the home team in game 3 and 4, so tonight and then tomorrow, as they'll be the home team on the scoreboard, but they'll be the visitors for their second straight game here in the Dakota Classic. Their lineups are being exchanged. We'll take one more break. We'll come back in 2 minutes, and we will have first pitch between Pierre and Ralston on the way next. Back in 2 minutes on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
Step up to the plate with Overhead Door Company of Pierre. Like your favorite team, we deliver reliability, strength, and top-notch performance. For over 100 years, Overhead Door has been the most respected name in the industry. From commercial or residential repairs to full upgrades, our team of technicians stand ready to provide winning results. Don't let a faulty garage door strike you out. Look for the signature red ribbon and call the industry MVP at 605-224-6200. Bring your garage door game to the big leagues.
People helping people. Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good, solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebind Agency, LLC, 224-6627. As we welcome you back, we are getting set as Ralston will take the field here in just a moment and getting set for first pitch between Pierre and Ralston in the first game today here at the Sanford Sports Complex and our second game overall of this Dakota Classic. And again, Pierre will play the first and last game today. For games 2 and 3, they'll be the road team in this game as Ralston is taking the field now. Then they'll be the home team in game 3 against the Kindred Vikings, who will play back-to-back games. They will not play again after playing the last game last night. They won't play again until 5 o'clock tonight against Yankton Post 12. Yankton will finish out their pool play of Dakota Classic here this afternoon, and then will only come back if they win the pool, which right now they're not in the spot to win it, having that loss to Pierre. Now, obviously, everything can change. They could go 3-1 still in this tournament. Pierre finishes at 2-2, or they finish at 3-1, and someone else finishes at 3-1, and then it starts to go to those tiebreakers. But overall, Pierre is still in the spot where they don't need any help. They can go get the job done themselves if they can go win this game and then get ready to go for that third game, put themselves at potentially at 3-0, but they need to get this first one here this morning. And as we look at the stats here for Ralston and the pitching staff, as Blaufus is the starting pitcher, this will be his third start and fourth appearance overall this season. He has a 1-0 record, 12 hits, 8 runs, and 6 earned in 13 innings, 6 walks and 10 strikeouts. The ERA at 3.23, a whip at 1.39, batting average against at 364 for Blaufus. So opportunity to maybe get a lot of hits, but he is still a good pitcher for this Ralston team, who is trying to get in the win column in their second game of the Dakota Classic. Hudson Stosher lead things off. He had the biggest hit yesterday, one of the two biggest hits yesterday for the Eights, as he had the RBI single that gave the Eights the 1-0 lead in the top of the third. That turned out to be the game-winning hit. And he will be the leadoff man here in Game 2 as the first pitch to Stosher will come in. He'll swing at the first pitch and line it right to right center field. That'll get down for extra bases and kick off the ball game. No coffee needed. Stosher's on his way to third. The throw will come in to the shorts to the second baseman. It's a leadoff stand-up triple on the first pitch of the ball game at 9:31 this morning. Hudson Stosher must have slept well last night to get up and hit a triple on the first pitch, and Porter Hunsley's got a chance to already drive him in. So Hunsley, the center fielder, after batting ninth yesterday, he will bat second here in this game. He drew the walk with 2 outs at the top of the third, with then Carter Schuffelbein's hit to move him to second, and then Hudson Stosher got the RBI single. Now Hunsley can return the favor to his teammate and drive him in. First pitch swinging. That's popped up to the right side. In play, foul territory, but the first baseman cannot make the catch and freeze, and it will land foul just out of his outstretched glove. Coach Elliott Life went sprinting down and had to catch his peanut helmet as he was trying to make sure that he stayed out of the way. So it's an 0-1 count. Just 2 pitches in, but 2 swings by the Eights. They're looking to, again, they're not, must have all slept pretty well to be ready to go for a 9:30 in the morning game. This is one of the earliest games I think Post 8 has ever played in the last 7 years. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That'll be at the bottom of the zone on the outside corner. That counts 0-2. Usually when we're here at the Dakota Classic, it is playing probably the last 2 games of the day. But instead we get the opportunity to play the first and last game. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That'll bounce in. Good block there by the catcher in Fuccio, and counts now 1-2. Go around the horn defensively here real soon for Ralston. But already an RBI opportunity here at the top of the first inning for Porter Hunsley. They'll wait on the 1-2 pitch from Blaufus. That'll miss low. The count's even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. In first game of the day here at Sanford Sports Complex, field number 4. Total of 5 games on this field before it's all said and done today, and then another 2 tomorrow to wrap up pool play. 2-2 will miss low and away, and the count's now 3-2. Good take there by Hunsley. Leadoff man on third, Stosher with that first pitch triple. Here's the 3-2. Ground ball up the middle, that will score the run. Sliding is the shortstop that will get it, but 0 chance to get Hunsley out at first. It is an infield single, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Eights. 2 batters in. Porter Hunsley gets his first hit of the Dakota Classic, as he also picks up RBI number 4 of the season, and it brings up Trip Lindekugel to the plate. Went 0 for 3 yesterday with 2 groundouts and a flyout. The Eights didn't get their first base runner until 2 outs in the top of the third. Takes them just 2 base runners to get their first run, as that first pitch is fouled back by Lindekugel for strike 1. So an early good start here for the Eights, and still looking to add on to it. The runner on at first and nobody out here in the top of the first inning. Blaufus will come set. The 0-1, that will drop low. Bottom dropped out of it and fell below the zone, crossing the plate, and the count's 1-1. Lindekugel coming into the tournament, he is hitting .333. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's at the knees for a strike, and the count's now at 1-2. So Blaufus trying to get his first guy retired here in the top of the first. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strikeouts. Lindekugel goes after it, swings through it, and there's one down, and it brings up now the catcher, Will Eilers, hitting in the cleanup spot. Eilers singled in the top of the 7th yesterday, going 1 for 3, and then after the sacrifice bunt was brought in by the 2-out RBI double by Bridger Babcock. As they'll swing the first pitch and pop this one up on the right side. Coming in as the right fielder to make the catch as Graham puts Eilers away, and there's now 2 down. And it brings up now Bridger Babcock to the plate. As we look at defensively for this Ralston team, as Lecce's in left, Jenkins in center, Graham at right, Sticks at third, Vandervoort's at short, Minor at second, Freeze at first, Fuccio behind the plates. As the runner takes off, pitch was in the turf, so Hunsley will steal that standing up as that's ball 1 to Bridger Babcock. And Porter Hunsley now in scoring position here with 2 outs. The first stolen base that we've seen here in this Dakota Classic. That one will miss low and away to Babcock, and the count's now 2-0. And obviously, I mean, he had the hit to give the Eights the 2-0 lead. And you say, well, they won 2-0, so the hit was just an extra bonus run. And you're right that it was. This one will get behind the catcher, goes off the umpire, but read perfectly by Porter Hunsley. And the count's now 3-0. An opportunity for Bridger Babcock, who's at 3-0, might be taken all the way, but got a chance to make this a 2-0 ball game with just a simple base hit. But that RBI double changed the whole strategy of what Yankton wanted to do in that 7th inning. That one's right down the middle, and the count's 3-1. Because if it's a 1-run game, Yankton's going to play some small ball, or at least want to play some small ball. So they're probably, changing how they were looking at that inning. But because Babcock, as he draws the walk there to make it first and third here with 2 outs, to bring up Alec Eilers, the first baseman. But because he makes it a 2-0 game, Coach Lawrence can't play small ball overall because he's got to make sure he scores 2 runs. He can't really trade just an out for 1 run anywhere. He's got to score 2, and that was a big extra base hit and a big RBI that maybe goes somewhat unnoticed because it was a 2-0 win instead of a 2-1 win, it wasn't just a 1-run win. It starts to maybe go a little unnoticed, but that was a massive hit that Babcock had in the top of the 7th. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Alec Eilers. He'll swing and ground that one over to the second baseman, fielded by Minor. His throw to first will get in time and end the top of the first inning. But the Eights do score a run on 2 hits in the inning, no errors and 2 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the first. It is a 1-0 lead for Pierre over Ralston. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Spring is the season for a fresh start, and that includes your technology. Whether you are looking to upgrade or need to breathe new life into your current device, CommTech is your one-stop solution. Experience the brilliance of LG OLED TVs, the immersive sound of Sonos and JBL, or the unmatched performance of Lenovo laptops. Buy with confidence thanks to our price match guarantee and 0% interest on selected purchases. We're your locally owned technology experts on the truck bypass. CommTech, we sell the best and fix the rest.
Koenig of Oneida, Pierre, and Winter has provided our services to growers of South Dakota for over 50 years. We focus on providing our customers with the products, services, and attention to detail that each farmer needs to succeed. For your individual needs of custom spraying, liquid or dry fertilizer, chemical, soil sampling, seed sales, and treating, stop in and see us at Koenig with offices located in Oneida, Pierre, and Winter.
It is the bottom of the first and a 1-0 lead for Pierre over Ralston. Carter Templeton is the starting pitcher on the mound for this Eights team here in Game 2 of their Dakota Classic as he comes in having 15 1/3 innings, which right now is second on the team behind Bridger Babcock as he is making his fourth start of the season, a 2-1 record so far, 18 hits, 12 runs, 6 of them earned, so only half of the runs have been earned against Carter Templeton. 9 walks and 14 strikeouts, so 2.74 ERA, 1.76 whip. Batting average against that 295, and that first pitch strike percentage near 70%, 68% first pitch strikes for Carter Templeton. Here's the first pitch. That'll be upstairs for ball 1 to Braden Vandervoort, the shortstop. And for Carter Templeton, he will be held on a pitch count because the Eights are playing post 320. That one just stays upstairs, and the count's 2-0. But they're going to play post 320 on Wednesday, and 320 is a very good baseball team, but also just even if they weren't, you'd still be trying as this one to be fouled out of play on the left side. You're still really more concerned about post 320 than the rest of this tournament on the fact that it goes to the South Dakota standings. So anybody that throws more than 80 pitches are not available on Wednesday to pitch against post 320. So he's going to stay under that 80 pitch mark as this will be fouled to the right side. That will get out of play, and the count's from 2-0 now to 2-2. Now that doesn't, he might throw 50 pitches, he might throw 60, and obviously it all kind of depends on how well he's pitching at the time, but for sure that he's not going to go over the 80 pitch count mark because they want him available on Wednesday, and I think really maybe not so much tomorrow as the count's now 3-2. But whoever might pitch in the start of the second game today, they probably stay under 80 pitches, so you have him available to throw on Wednesday as well. 3-2 pitch, curveball that will drop in for strike 3. And a great start for Carter Templeton. It froze the leadoff man Vandervoort, who looked like that ball was going to be coming in to hit him, and it dropped in for a strike, and that takes care of Vandervoort, and it brings up Brody Jenkins, the center fielder. So the strategy for Coach Iverson, and we talked about it yesterday, that because they were playing their first game was against the South Dakota opponent, everything kind of builds from there, not building back from there. But you also have, because if, with post 320 coming up on Wednesdays, it counts 1-1 to Brody Jenkins. Your strategy is keeping guys available for Wednesday, or at least keeping enough guys available on Wednesday. 1-1 pitch, that's fouled at the plate off of Jenkins, and the count's now 1-2. I mentioned Bridger Babcock leading the team in innings. If he's a starter in Game 2 today, you probably keep him under 80 pitches, so he'd be available to throw on Wednesday. Or maybe you don't just because he's started everything, and he'd be available on Friday again no matter how much he throws. But the strategy is going to be there for the guys today. Again, you can't go over 80 if you're going to try to keep him available for Wednesday. Here's the 1-2 pitch another time. That one will be taken at the bottom of the zone for strike 3, as that was dropping near the bottom of the zone, but it didn't drop out of the zone. And back-to-back strikeouts for Carter Templeton to open up his afternoon, or his morning, and it brings up Cade Sticks, the third baseman. We shouldn't, and with the 2-hour and 15-minute time limit, not going to get to the afternoon. We might still get to the afternoon if the no inning can start after 2:15. There's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Now the extra rules kind of go into play that we didn't have yesterday because of that. It was a straight-up South Dakota game, but there's different rules that go into the Dakota Classic on if there's a tie, and the run rules are a little bit different to try and make sure you stay on time if you can. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Cade Sticks, the third baseman. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop in Stosher as he will gobble and field. The throw to first is going to be in time. It's a 1-2-3 bottom of the first for Carter Templeton. We head to the top of the second, 1-0 lead for Pierre over Ralston. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
For over 60 years, Birding Electric has been powering homes and businesses across central South Dakota. When you need reliable electrical service, trust the experts with decades of experience. Whether it's a simple residential repair, a complex commercial installation, or even electrical work on your farm, Birding Electric has you covered. And if you're tired of searching everywhere for that hard-to-find bulb, Birding Electric carries a wide selection of bulbs, including those hard-to-find fluorescent and specialty options. Visit us at 2903 East Elizabeth Street or call today, 605-224-8684.
It is the top of the second and a 1-0 lead for Pierre over Ralston. American Family Insurance, Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. And it will be 5, make that 7, 8, 9. Hudson Schaefer, Aiden Johnson, and then Carter Templeton. Anybody reaches base, it'll go back to the top of the order for Hudson Stosher. As we play here at the top of the second, and we mentioned that there are a couple different rules now in place for the rest of this, at least pool play side of things, might even be for the bracket play as well, as the first pitch is upstairs for ball one. But they have a time limit. 2:15 is the time limit. The game is tied to the time limit after 7 full innings. The California rule is used. That one will miss for the count being 2-0, which is starting with a runner on at second and 1 out in the inning already. So it's not the same as Major League extra inning rules. That one to be fouled out of play by Schaefer, and the count's now 2-1. To try and speed up that extra inning, and as the 2-1 pitch here to Schaefer. That one is at the knees for a strike, and the count's now 2-2. Schaefer is hitting 118. He does have a double, 1 run driven in so far. Here's the 2-2 taken for strike 3, and there's the second strikeout now for Blaufus, and there's one away here in the top of the second. It brings up Aiden Johnson, the right fielder. The other thing is that the run rules are a little bit different. It's 15-run rule after 3, 12 after 4, and then 8 after 5 or 6. It's not the just 10-run rule after 5. There's a lot. There's run rules after the third inning and on. I don't know if they had any run rules more than just the 5th inning. Might have had one and potentially in the 4th. In one of those games. Aiden Johnson swings at the 0-1 pitch, and the count's now 0-2. He's hitting 48 so far, 2 for 21 1 for 21. 3 runs scored as he looks for his second hit of the summer. That one's outside, and the count's now 1-2. Here to Blaufus. From Blaufus to Johnson. 1 out, nobody on here at the top of the second. The RBI infield single by Porter Hunsley gives the Eights that 1-0 lead. Here's a ground ball on the left side, fielded by the shortstop. The throw to first is not going to be in time. Johnson is safe. He's got an infield single. And there's 1 on and 1 out. Second infield single here already for the Eights, and it brings up Carter Templeton. And by the way, Pierre had just 5 hits yesterday. They've already got 3 in an inning and a third. And now Templeton, the pitcher, will step to the plate. Looking for his first hit of the summer. He's just 0 for 4 right now. First pitch is at the knees for strike 1. Which this is as historic of a National League lineup as you can get, with the fact that your pitcher is batting 9th. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss, a foul tip, and the count's 0-2. I think Templeton, in the adjustment of all of it all, is probably better stick than most National League pitchers were back in the day. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Runner takes off. It is outside. The throw will go to second, and sliding in safely without a play is going to be Johnson. So he is in scoring position, second stolen base of the day for the Eights. And now with a 1-2 count, Templeton's got a chance to help himself out with a base hit to try and make this a 2-0 lead. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a foul back. And we'll do it again here at 1-2. Beautiful start to this morning. 67 right now here in Sioux Falls. Not much wind. They are saying it's going at 12 miles out of the north, but does not feel like it's that windy and gusting at 18. But by the time we get to the end of the night, we'll be sitting around the 70s, maybe still in the 60s by the time game time hits for our second game tonight. 2-2 to Templeton. This will be skied out to right field as Johnson will go back to second. The right fielder make the catch. Johnson will tag to go to third. The throw will come in. It's wide of the bag, and Johnson is sliding in safely. Not a sacrifice fly, but it does get the job done to get him over to third. And there's now 2 down, and it brings up Hudson Stosher, who led off the ball game in the first pitch with a triple. And a chance to make this a 2-0 lead. So Stosher, who had 1 for 3 yesterday with the RBI, he's 1 for 1, 2 for 4 so far in the Dakota Classic. First pitch to him, and he'll tap that in front of the plate. The pitcher will pick it up. Blaufus will throw to first, and that will end the inning. So it is no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left on base. After an inning and a half, it is 1-0 for Pierre over Ralston. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
When you're looking for quality trash pickup services, look no further than Envirotech. 6 days a week, their trucks are on the road picking up trash, even holidays. They're also the place to contact for recycling services. Their friendly, professional staff is ready to assist with weekly pickups or even special pickups. Check out the website at envirotechwaste.com. Envirotech is locally operated. Call 224-4804. Envirotech Waste Services in Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health and your time matter to us. Our team takes pride in providing personal, professional care, from filling your prescriptions quickly to answering your questions every step of the way. Need a little extra convenience? We offer free delivery right to your home or office. Because at Shane's Pharmacy, you're our family, friends, and neighbors, and we're honored to care for you. Shane's Pharmacy. Feel better for less and stay well with us. Call 605-223-9200 or stop by in Fort Pierre. Shane's Pharmacy. Proud to support our local high school athletes.
As we welcome you back, it is the bottom of the second. 1-0 lead for Pierre over Ralston, Nebraska. John Wickler with you. Cindy Carlson back in the station. Our first of 2 games. Again, we'll be on the air at around 7:15 tonight again. So I'll give you a chance to enjoy your Saturday afternoon and come back. You got a chance to start your Saturday morning with us, and then you get a chance to end your Saturday with us with post-8 baseball. Of course, we'll have coverage of the Men's College World Series coming up as well, around 1:40, Oklahoma and Alabama. First pitch will come inside for ball 1 to the number 4 hitter, Josh Hendricks. Hendricks, Kason Fuccio, and Landon Graham, 4, 5, and 6 for Ralston here in the top, make that the bottom of the second inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That'll come in and hit the hands of Hendricks, and the first base runner is on by hit by pitch. And so the leadoff man is on base, and it brings up Kason Fuccio, which, by the way, that's the first time the Yates have allowed the leadoff man on in this tournament. First time in 9 innings that the leadoff man's got on. And only the second time in 9 innings that the team is batting with the runner on base with less than 2 outs. Only the 7th inning yesterday for Yankton was the only inning that they had someone on with less than 2 outs in that ball game. That's how good Danberg was, especially early on in the inning, and then he, of course, all throughout the entire ball game, because he didn't give up a single run and only gave up 2 hits the entire ball game. First pitch will miss outside for ball 1 to Kason Fuccio, the catcher. This is a team coming in hitting .265 on the weekend. Of course, they scored 7 runs yesterday. And for Fuccio, he's hitting .118 right now, or was coming in. Here's a pickoff move, and they had him, but it will get away from Alec Eilers. And the runner will get to second. He is going to hold up at second. And unfortunately for the Aids, it turns into an error. Otherwise, it was Hendricks who was picked off at first. There was no chance of him getting back to the bag. The throw was wide of Alec Eilers over at first. And so the error will go to Templeton. That's the second error for Pierre of this tournament, first today. And so now the tying run is in scoring position here with nobody out in the bottom of the second. And Kason Fuccio with a 1-0 count right now will get ready. Maybe we'll see if he wants to bunt the ball or not. Alec Eilers is coming all the way in, and he is showing bunt, pulls it back, and takes it high for ball 2. Numbers being yelled out by the head coach of this Ralston team, Tom Cooper. Bunt again. That one is missed that time, though, by Fuccio as he went above the zone to offer at it. And the count's now 2-1. Left side of the infield staying put. Bridger Babcock, the second baseman, is moving over to cover first. Alec Eilers is coming in. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Again, showing bunt, dropping it down the third base side. It's going to roll foul, though, and will be picked up by Will Eilers in foul territory, so the count goes now 2-2. And that puts an end to Kason Fuccio trying to bunt the ball. So 2-2 count here with nobody out and runner on at second here in the bottom of the second. As Ralston is looking to try and tie this game up here in this second inning. Templeton from the stretch. Here's the 2-2. That's a curveball that will come in and hit Fuccio. And so now it's first and second. Back-to-back guys have been hit by a pitch. And it brings up Landon Graham, the right fielder, to the plates. Graham's coming in hitting 167. He's got a double. He's got 5 runs driven in coming into the weekend. And time is called, and Coach Elliott Life will have a conversation with his starting pitcher and the rest of the infield. Here in the bottom of the second of this 1-0 game between Pierre and Ralston. Ralston will take on Columbus, Nebraska at 12 o'clock. And then at 2:30, Columbus will take on Yankton. And then Yankton faces Kindred Vikings. Before Pierre will face Kindred at 7:30 tonight to wrap up day 2 of pool play. And then Kindred and Ralston will finish out their pool play on Sunday at 9:30, and then we'll play the second game at 12 o'clock between Pierre and Columbus. That game will start on YouTube only, and then we'll join it after the church service is done on KCCR. So we'll have YouTube only broadcasts. I mean, first pitch could be first pitch by the time that we are on the air on KCCR, but it could be maybe a little bit behind, depending on how long the church service is, and if we get started a couple minutes early, all that stuff that may or may not happen to put us behind and only YouTube to start the game. Showing bunt, dropping it down the third base side. Lindekugel will pick it up. He's not going to have a play. It's going to be an infield single, and the bases are now loaded. First hits of the ball game. Lindekugel bobbled it, but I don't think even if he picks it up cleanly, he's going to have a play over at first. And so the bases are now loaded here with nobody out in the bottom of the second. And Jason Meyer, the second baseman, has got a chance to give Ralston the lead. Corners are going to be in. It looks like everybody's playing in right now to try and get the force out at home. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. 2 hit batters and a bunt infield single. Here's the 1-0. That's upstairs, and the count's now 2-0. Jason Meyer, the second baseman, here with the bases loaded and nobody out. 2-1 pitch. He rips at that one, fouls it back to the netting, and the count's now 2-1. Miner is hitting .312 coming into the weekend. Double, triple, 3 runs driven in. He's got 10 hits, which is second on the team coming into the weekend. He'll ground this one over to Stosher at short. He's going to come home with the force out, and Eiler stays on the plate. And a big first out to keep this a 1-0 game. 6-2 on the fielder's choice. Everybody moves up a base, but the bases are still loaded. There is that first out. And now a chance to still turn it up the middle. But it's Boone Bletchley, the right fielder. That one's over for strike one, or the left fielder, excuse me. As he comes in, he is hitting .368 on the season. 4 doubles. He'll swing and miss at the 0-1 pitch, and the count's now 0-2. 4 doubles, a triple, 5 runs driven in. Obviously, most doubles, or tied with most doubles on the team. Here's the 0-2 from Templeton. Bouncing in, a good block there by Will Eilers. The count's now 1-2. Corners are in, the middle is back to try and play for a double play. Here's the 1-2. That one will miss low and away, and the count's even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Number 8 man the batting order. Templeton working from the windup here with the bases loaded. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a foul back. Just getting a piece of it. Staying alive here with 2 strikes. Fucio's at third, Graham at second, Minor at first. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball to the shortstop. Stosher will throw to second for 1. Babcock to first is not going to be in time. The run will score on the fielder's choice. Alec Eilers did a good job of coming off the base, making sure he's blocked it up to keep it in front of him. Keeps that runner over at third. And so now there's runners at the corners with 2 outs. But we are tied up at 1, the RBI fielder's choice. And it's now a 1-1 tie with Henry Fries to the plate. Make that Freeze to the plate. Excuse me. First baseman digs in. And the first pitch will be high and outside for ball 1. He's hitting .71 so far. 1 hit, but only 14 at-bats coming into the weekend. 2 RBIs, though, for Freeze. Templeton will come set from the stretch. Here's the 1-0 pitch to the number 9 man. That'll bounce in. The count's now 2-0. A big spot right here at the top of the order due up next. Here in this bottom of the second of Game 2 of our Dakota Classic. Pickoff attempt and diving back in safely. There's the runner over at first. And Bletchley, who has the RBI fielder's choice, that tied the game up at 1-1. Here's the 2-0 now from Templeton. For a long pause, he'll deliver. And a ground ball again over to Stosher in the hole at short. He's got to stop and make the throw. That is going to be on time. And a good play by Stosher in the hole to keep this a 1-1 tie. As he was a part of all 3 outs on 3 ground outs. 1 run does score on 1 hit in the inning. There was 1 error and 2 men left on base. We head to the top of the third. It is a 1-1 tie between Pierre and Ralston. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. When your tank's running low and your stomach is growling, there's one place Pierre trusts, DJ Senex. Feel it fast. Grab ice-cold drinks, selection of fresh donuts, and that perfect cup of coffee to keep you moving. Friendly faces, quick stops, and everything you need right when you need it. So next time you're on the go, make the easy stop. DJ Senex. Fueled by community, driven by you.
For years, you have trusted Larry Fry Heating and Cooling to keep your home comfortable, no matter the season. Now that same commitment to quality service and expert care has a new name. Introducing Kruger Climate Systems. We're familiar faces, the reliable technicians, and the same dedication you've always known, now under a new banner. From essential repairs and routine maintenance to brand new installations, we're here to ensure your home's perfect temperature. Kruger Climate Systems, your trusted partner for a comfortable home. Call us today for all your heating and cooling needs.
As we welcome you back, it is the top of the third. 2, 3, and 4 here for the Eights. Porter Hunsley will lead things off, followed by Trip Linda Kugel and Will Eilers as the first pitch is over for strike one. Here in the top of the third of Game 2 of our Dakota Classic, first game of the day here at Sanford Sports Complex number 4. Here's a chopper foul down the third base line. The count is now 0-2 here to Hunsley. In the RBI infield single that gave the Eights a 1-0 lead in that top of the first inning. 0-2 pitch will miss low and away. The count's now 1-2. Wind is blowing out to the outfield here today. Pretty much blowing straight from home plate to center field. That one will miss low, and the count's 2-2. Again, not a massive wind by any means, but it is one that can help the hitters out, as Hunsley will pop this up to second base, backing up into the outfield turf to make the catch as the second baseman Minor. And the leadoff man is gone here in the top of the third. And it brings up Linda Kugel to the plate, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Hitting in the number 3 spot here in this ball game. And again, Carter Schuffelbein, Sun and Shine, two guys that are kind of staples in the lineup. They'll be back later on tonight. They're told me that they were planning to get 36s today on their ACT. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Linda Kugel, as that will be fouled over towards the softball field. That is, they're all baseball fields down here, but they're playing some softball games on field number 1. Or, excuse me, that's field number 3. That one's fouled back, and the count's now 1-2. Actually, as they're about to leave to head to take the ACT for Schuffelbein and Sun and Shine, and said something about them getting 36s. I said they have to take it. I think they make you take it again if you get that high of a score. So they kind of said they didn't really want to get that high of a score anyway, as that would be inside, because they didn't really want to take the test. I mean, you have to, you need to. But they were ready to play some baseball this morning. Here's a 2-2 now to Linda Kugel. This will be flown out to center field, backing up to center fielder, still going back, and shy of the wall. The catch will be made by the center fielder Jenkins, and there's now 2 down. Hard to tell exactly how far he was out there, but he definitely went back on the ball, and probably was a little bit, couple steps away still, and right or maybe around the warning track area. 385 in dead center, and Linda Kugel is pretty close to hitting it dead center, as Will Eilers will foul the first pitch back for strike 1. Will Eilers yesterday, again, he had the leadoff single in the top of the 7th. Here's the 0-1 to him. Here's a ground ball to the left side, backhanded by the shortstop. The throw to first is going to be in time as Vander Voort makes the play to make it a 1-2-3 top of the third for Blaufus. We head to the bottom of the third, still tied 1-1 between Pierre and Ralston. Back in a minute on KCCR. Watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Stulkin Peterson LLP has been your local CPA firm for over 40 years, offering tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting services. If your business, farm, or ranch needs professional, accurate, and reliable services, we are your firm. Our clients are our #1 priority. If you need a higher level of accounting service, give us a call at 605-224 5828. That's Stolken Peterson, LLP, 222 East Missouri Avenue in Pierre.
It is the bottom of the third and a 1-1 tie on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffleby scoreboard. Top of the order for Ralston as Braden Vandervoort, Brody Jenkins, and Cade Sticks will come to the plates. Anybody reaches base, it'll go to Josh Hendricks as we play our first game today. Again, coming up tonight, 7:30, we'll have first pitch, or that's scheduled first pitch for Pierre and Kindred, North Dakota, as post 117 Vikings will be the opponent for the Eights, as that one's over for strike one to get us started here in the bottom of the third for Carter Templeton against this Ralston lineup. We had just one hit against him in the first 9 men that came to the plate on the bunt single. This will be fouled back to the netting, and it stays inside the field. It counts 0-2. The Ralston Sox looking like the old Chicago White Sox logo from back in the day. 0-2 pitch. This will be a fly ball to left field. Hudson Schaefer, that was right at him, and the catch is made for the first out. He maybe took 2 steps back on it and played it perfectly in the right spot, and leadoff man is gone. And it brings up Brody Jenkins. Both he and Vandervoort 0 for 1 with strikeouts and backwards Ks. The 2 strikeouts so far for Carter Templeton. Here's the first pitch to him. He'll swing at that one and fly this to center field, but right there is Porter Hunsley, and there's 2 quickly down here in the third inning. And it brings up Cade Sticks to the plate. Sticks wearing number 16. He missed the shot at wearing number 11. Hand is their guy that wears number 11, but your last name Sticks. You either got to hit well or wear the number 11. There's a line shot to left field. That will slide in for Schaefer. Can't make the catch. Rounding first is Sticks, and he will have himself a double. So there you go. That's why he doesn't have to wear the number 11. With a pretty good stick at the plate, he gets a 2-out double. And it extends the inning now here to Josh Hendricks, who was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance. He was thrown out trying to score on it was obviously a force out at the plate, but he was thrown out on the fielder's choice at home. At the time, kept it a 1-0 game for Pierre, and now it sits at 1-1. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. First pitch to Hendricks. Swings and misses for strike one. Again, Templeton's going to stay for sure under the 80 pitch count mark. We'll see if Coach Iverson wants to maybe take him out any earlier than that, but he has to stay under the 80 pitch count mark if he's going to be used against post 320, and that's probably a likely spot that he'll pitch again, as that one will miss low and away, and the count's now 1-1. That was pitch number 42 for him, so he's just past the halfway point of what he can do before he'd have to come out. Here's the 2-0. Make that the 1-1. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 1-2. And Templeton looking for his third strikeout. Keep this a 1-1 game going to the fourth. The Eights will have 5, 6, and 7 with Babcock, Alec Eilers, and Schaefer. Here's the 1-2. Fouled straight back. And another 1-2 pitch upcoming. Netting doesn't have recoil is pretty far back. Most of these guys are swinging. It's not a huge backstop anyway, but most of those foul balls hit the netting and go right back to the home plate umpire, to the catcher or hitter. Here's the 1-2 again. Curveball that will hit him. Second time that he has been hit. Third hit by pitch by Templeton, and it's now first and second here with 2 away, and it brings up now Kason Fuccio, who was also hit by a pitch in his first trip to the plate. He did end up scoring the lone run on the RBI fielder's choice in that bottom of the second. 2 away here in the bottom of the third. First and second. Fuccio, who again hit by a pitch in his first trip, waits in the first pitch. Templeton delivers, and that will hit him. And both guys of Hendricks and Fuccio have been hit by a pitch both times they've come to the plate. And the bases are now loaded here with 2 outs. They will get the courtesy runner. And Vlichek will run for Fuccio. And now it's Landon Graham who had the only hit so far through the first time through the lineup. Obviously now Ralston's got 2 hits with Sticks now over at third. He had the 2-out double that kept this inning alive. But Graham had the bunt single to load the bases back in the second. Now he hits with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the third. First pitch is missing low for ball 1. Templeton peers in for the sign from Will Eilers. He'll wind and deal, and that one will miss low and away, and the count's now 2-0. Here to Landon Graham, the right fielder. Graham reaches. They will take at least a 2-1 lead. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a foul back, and the count's now 2-1. Graham, then Minor, and then Lecce, who has the RBI. Templeton from the windup. Here is the 2-1 pitch. That one's on the outside edge and taken for strike 2, and the count's now at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. 2-2 pitch on its way. Chopper foul behind home plate. And we will do it again here at 2-2. Templeton again, 2-2 pitch. Line shot to left field. Schaefer is going to dive, and he is going to make the catch to get out of the inning. A diving play by Schaefer out in left, and it's a scoreless bottom of the third. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 3 men left on base. We head to the 4th. We are all tied at 1. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Has life left a dent in your ride? Or maybe you're dreaming of a fresh start for your classic? At Hunsley Auto Body and Sandblasting, we bring vehicles back to life. Located right here in Fort Pierre with over 25 years experience, we specialize in expert auto body repair. From minor dings to major collision work. Got a boat or RV with fiberglass damage? We handle that too. And for projects needing a complete refresh, our professional sandblasting service preps anything ready for a perfect finish. For quality work you can trust, Hunsley Auto Body and Sandblasting, 605-280-4451, 310 West Highway 1434 in Fort Pierre.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com today.
To the top of the 4th inning, 1-1 between Pierre and Ralston. Carter Templeton has thrown 52 pitches now through those 3 innings. And so he has got 28 pitches left to work with, actually 27, because he can't go to 80 pitches. He has to stop at 79, so he's only got 27 left to work with. So you want him to maybe get through those 4 complete, and then you can figure out the rest of the way after that. And obviously there was already a plan in place as Bridger Babcock is ahead in the count 2-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. And he drew a walk in that top of the 1st inning. Here's the 2-0 to him. Swings and misses for strike 1. 5 straight have been retired since the infield single by Aiden Johnson for Blaufus after he had a 1-2-3 top of the 3rd inning. That 2-1 pitch, that one will catch the outside edge, and the count's now 2-2. So from 2-0 to 2-2, Blaufus from the windup delivers the 2-2 pitch. That will bounce in, and the count is full at 3-2 here to Babcock. Leadoff man, number 5 man in the batting order for the Eights. Here to get us started in the top of the 4th. 3-2. inside for ball 4. Second walk for Bridger Babcock. The only 2 walks issued by Blaufus have come to Babcock. And there is a runner on to lead things off here in this 4th inning. And it brings up Alec Eilers, the first baseman, who is 0 for 1. And again, where we sit out here in the 4th inning, getting to that halfway point, how much of small ball do you play? Or do you try to, and as Alec Eilers is going to show bunt, he'll drop it in front of the plate. Good bunt there by Alec Eilers. The only play will go to first, and that will be a sacrifice bunt to move Bridger Babcock into scoring position. 1-3 on the sacrifice, and Hudson Schaefer and Eden Johnson will have a chance to drive in that run with Alec Eilers' sacrifice bunts. So now runner on at second, 1 away. Here's the first pitch to Schaefer. That's upstairs for ball 1. 0 for 1 so far, struck out looking. One of the 2 strikeout victims so far for Blaufus. Babcock will lead away from second. Could be a big run right here in this top of the 4th. 1-0 pitch. That one's at the knees for a strike, and evens the count of the ball and a strike here to Schaefer. Blaufus, who had 47 pitches through 3 innings. He'll deliver the 1-1 to Schaefer, who will swing and miss, and the count's 1-2. Again, we know for South Dakota teams, their pitching strategy is making sure guys are ready to go for their South Dakota games up next week. As the 1-2 pitch is foul, the back, that will get out of play. And it remains at 1-2 count. Again, unless you have nothing until Thursday, which Pierre obviously has Wednesday. Yesterday, Danberg, it didn't matter if he threw, as many pitches as he wanted to, because he's available to throw again on Wednesday. He's wasn't going to be available the rest of the tournament, most likely, unless he only threw 30 pitches. As this will be popped up behind, right at home plate in foul territory with the mask on. The catch is made by the catcher Fuccio, and there's now 2 down. And it brings up Aiden Johnson, who has an opportunity to drive in that run. So 2 away here in the top of the 4th. Johnson had the infield single with 1 out in the top of the 2nd. He's 1 for 1. Babcock with a leadoff walk, moved to second in the sacrifice bunt. Now 2 down here in this top of the 4th. Blaufus will come set from the stretch and deliver the first pitch. That one's on the outside edge for strike 1. But now Templeton throwing 52 pitches so far. He's got to stay under 80 pitch count mark, so he could be available to pitch on Wednesday. And anybody else that pitches today would most likely want to stay under the 80 pitch count mark. Tomorrow's a little bit different story, because then you start to go down to 65 pitches it is, or 64 that can only throw. And then if you happen to play on Monday, then at that point you're hoping that your starter goes a complete game, because then you're really limited pitch count. Here's a line shot that'll be caught. I believe it is caught. The throw to first went anyway, but it was caught by the shortstop Vandervoort. He threw it to first just to make sure, but the base umpire had signaled that he made the catch, and that is the end of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th. It is still 1-1 between Pierre and Ralston. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan, so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year, so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
At Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, we salute the service and sacrifice of our members. To show our appreciation for veterans, active duty military, and first responders, we're proud to introduce the We Salute Service and Sacrifice Loan Program, granting a special rate reduction on eligible consumer loans. Valid offer on new secure loans only. Internal refinances and unsecured loans do not qualify. Veterans, active duty military, and first responders, contact our loan team for more details. All deposits are insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. At Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, we're big on you.
It is the bottom of the fourth, and it is a 1-1 tie on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. And it is going to be for Ralston 6, 7, and 8. Make that 7, 8, and 9. Jason Miner, Boone Bletchy, and Henry Freeze. Anybody reaches base back into the top of the order for Braden Vandervoort. As, again, Carter Templeton with 52 pitches through 3 innings, showing bunt and pulling it back and taking it high for ball 1 is Jason Miner. You want Templeton to maybe, he's got, again, had 27 pitches to work with in this inning to try and get through this inning and then give the 8th, the 5th, 6th, and 7th, and, give whoever it is maybe a fresh start on the mound. Or at the very least, maybe get him into the 5th inning. 2-0 pitch is over for a strike. The count's now 2-1, but he has to be somewhat efficient to make sure that he gets through this inning. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Here's a ground ball on the left side, fielded by Lindekow. He's able to stab it down. The throw to first, it was wide, but the tag is going to be applied by Alec Eilers, and a good play all the way around. As Lindekow makes the play, able to turn, throw close enough to the bag, and allow Alec Eilers to make the catch and apply the tag. And the first man gone here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And it brings up the guy that had the RBI, as Boone Bletchy will come to the plate to the left fielder, RBI fielder's choice. Swings to the first pitch down the left field line, but that will get foul and out of play. And the count is 0-1 to the number 8 man of the batting order. Again, Yankton beats Ralston 8-7 last night in the only game that Ralston played. Yankton was the only team that played twice. That one will miss, and the count's 1-1. So Yankton at 1-1. They truthfully have to win both these games today to have a shot to win the pool. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That'll bounce in. The count's now 2-1, because if you're at 2-2, you need a lot of everybody else to go 2-2, and then everything has to fall your way and all the tiebreakers. Here's the 2-1. There's a fly ball to center field. Porter Hunsley will continue to go back on it. Still going back, but he will make the catch shy of the warning track. And 2 down now here in the bottom of the 4th, and it brings up the number 9 man, Henry Freeze. Freeze is 0 for 1. He ground out to the shortstop, Stosher. Made a nice play to get out of that 2nd inning to keep it a 1-1 tie. Templeton will deliver the first pitch to Freeze. Ground ball to Stosher at short. He will get down to Anita Field. Gets back up. His throw is going to be on time. And that will be a 1-2-3 inning for Carter Templeton here in the 4th. Halfway home in this first game today between Pierre and Ralston. It is 1-1 as we head to the 5th. Back in a minute on KCCR. And you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Wagner Auto and Pierre has been hitting home runs for over vehicles and top-notch service to our community. Whether you need a rugged truck, a dependable SUV, or a fuel-efficient car, we've got the perfect lineup to keep you on the road. Proud sponsor of this season's baseball action, we're here to help you drive home a great deal. Stop by today or visit WagnerAuto.com. Wagner Auto, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer.
When the South Dakota wind howls and the rain pours, is your home ready? Introducing Pierre Roofing and Gutters, the newest name serving Pierre, Fort Pierre, and surrounding communities. Owned by Karsten Erickson, the same expert you've trusted for years at Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction, we're expanding to keep our community covered. From full replacement to seamless gutter installs, Karsten and his team deliver. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Pierre Roofing and Gutters today for a free estimate. 605-280-8080. Pierre Roofing and Gutters. Built strong, built local.
Back here as we head to the top of the fifth inning, and it is a 1-1 tie on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. As it will be for the Eights, 9-1-2, Carter Templeton, Hudson Stosher, and Porter Hunsley. And for Templeton, in that fourth inning, he did a very good job of working efficiently as he has now thrown 61 pitches, only a 9-pitch inning, so he has 18 pitches to work with, so he could potentially get through 5 complete, which again helps out the Eights pitching staff trying to manage the rest of this tournament. As the first pitch here to Carter Templeton will come in, and that'll be over for strike one. He flew out to the right fielder, Johnson, who ended up stealing second, then he moved to third on that fly ball to right by Templeton in that top of the second. That one was a curveball that will drop in for a strike, and the count's now 0-2 here to the Eights pitcher. Hudson Stosher, the top of the order, is waiting on deck. The 0-2 pitch from Blaufus. There's a ground ball to the second baseman, gobbled up by Minor. His throw to first is in time for the leadoff man gone here in the top of the fifth inning. It will bring up now Hudson Stosher to the plate. He is 1 for 2 with that leadoff triple. And then came in to score on the RBI ground out for Porter Hunsley. The first two guys reached to make it a 1-0 game, but it's all the runs that the Eights have been able to have. They have not got a hit since that infield single by Johnson. This will be into left center field for a base hit over the leaping shortstop Vandervorst, and on cue, it is going to be a base hit for Stosher. He's 2 for 3 in this game. And there is 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the fifth, and it brings up Porter Hunsley now to the plate. Hunsley 1 for 2 as well. Infield single in the RBI. And then he popped out to the second baseman as he hits here with a runner on. First pitch will miss low for ball 1. We're also on the top of the order in the bottom of the fifth inning. And you love that Templeton was efficient enough with the 9-pitch inning that he had to be able to start this fifth inning. That pitch will be at the outside edge for a strike. The count's now 1-1. And there's a lot of guys that you can go to, really a lot of guys you can go to besides Danberg, because I think everybody else is available to pitch other than Danberg. So as you kind of look around, Hudson Stosher might be a guy that they maybe go to. Hudson Schaefer potentially as well. Actually, you'd have to check Hudson Schaefer to make sure that he didn't throw too much on Wednesday, where you'd have to have 3 days rest. He might be the only other guy that's not available. Here's a pickoff attempt, and back in safely is Stosher. Porter Hunsley, another guy that could throw. Maybe you're waiting for him to potentially start maybe tomorrow or something like that, or not sure how Coach Iverson wants to play. And there's a foul back by Hunsley. Maybe climb the ladder a little bit, and the count's now 1-2. Still, just a couple of different options that Coach Iverson has, and he probably has a game plan on who his starter wants to be, who he wants the starter to be on the second game. 1-2 pitch. Hunsley again fouls it back, as he'll stay alive, and didn't even mention Bridger Babcock. I think that maybe he's might be lined up to be your starter later on this evening against Kindred. Maybe. But he's another guy that you can go to. 1-2 pitch. Hunsley will pop this up. Shallow right field. Coming in as the right fielder to make the catch, and Graham. And so Stosher has to retreat back to first, and there's now 2 down. And it brings up Triple Lindekugel to the plate with a runner on at first and 2 away. Here in this top of the fifth inning, a 1-1 tie between Pierre and Ralston. Lindekugel is 0 for 2, struck out swinging in the first, flew out to center in the third. He pushed the center fielder back towards the track on that fly out. Runner takes off. Lindekugel will ground it over the shortstop, fielded by Vandervoort. His throw to first is going to be in time, and that will end the top of the fifth inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left on base. We head to the bottom of the fifth. Still a 1-1 tie between Pierre and Ralston. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
AGE Corporation has been building South Dakota for over 60 years. For all your site work, construction, and crane needs, AGE is there for you. If you need a boat dock and dock lighting, AGE has what you need. Visit their website, agecorp.com, or give them a call at 223-2732. AGE Corporation, providing high-quality services without sacrificing safety. Visit agecorp.com or call 223-2732. As we welcome you back, bottom of the fifth, top of the order for Ralston in a tie game, 1-1. American Family Insurance, Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. Braden Vandervoort, Brody Jenkins, and Cade Sticks. With Carter Templeton trying to work through potentially 5 completes. But again, he's working against the pitch count right now. As the first pitch will come in and hit Vandervoort. It's the fifth different guy that he has hit, or fifth hit by pitch. He's only hit 3 different guys. But Josh Hendricks and Kason Fushio have been hit twice in each of their 2 trips to the plate. And now Vandervoort hit by the first pitch. So that was pitch number 62. So again, Templeton he's not going to throw more than 80s. If 62 pitches here in the 5th inning, like, okay, well, he's got a chance to go the distance. Well, you're not going to let him go 105 pitches. As showing bunt is Brody Jenkins. Runner will take off. The pitch is high. The throw to second and sliding in safely. It went off the foot for a moment of Vandervoort. And so a stolen base for Vandervoort. He is now in scoring position with nobody out. And we'll see if the bunt stays on. Obviously, I think Jenkins was showing bunt to get a jump for Vandervoort. That doesn't necessarily mean that the bunt is not going to happen. It counts 1-0. Alec Eilers is creeping in over at first base. Pickoff attempt back to second. The throw back and diving back in safely is Vandervoort. Templeton will come set from the stretch. Here's the 1-0 bunt shown and then pulled back and taken high, and the count's 2-0. The only 2 subs on the score sheet right now, or on the roster, is Jackson Goodman and Will Danberg, and of course Danberg is not coming in to pitch. So if anybody would come off the bench, it would be Goodman, but I'm not sure that he'd come out to be the pitcher. This will be a foul ball, but it hit the batter, Jenkins, but he was still in the box, so it is just a foul ball. And the count's now 2-1. Had he been outside the box and it hit him, he would have been out, but bounced down and immediately hit him still before he was able to drop the bat and take off for first. So the count's 2-1. He's 0 for 2, struck out looking and flew out into center. Two-1, set of pickoff attempts, and no throw from Templeton. Very dangerous to potentially be a balk, but no balk called. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Here's a fly ball towards left center field. Hudson Schaefer going back, still going back. He's able to make the catch. Runner will tag from third, and he will stop in at third with the fly ball, long fly ball out there from Jenkins. Moves the runner to third base, so the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 5th inning is in scoring position with less than 2 outs. And 3, 4, and 5 got a chance to try and drive in that go-ahead run. And Cade Sticks, who was leading the team in RBIs coming into the weekend, comes to the plate. He had 8 runs driven in, which was the team high. Hendricks, the number 4 man, the cleanup man who's on deck, he was number 2 on the team. First pitch swinging, popped foul out of play on the right side. And the count's 0-1. Let's see, where this becomes a really tight situation is also that you're still looking at the pitch count and not worrying about what the score is and where it's at here in the game. Here's a ground ball back up the middle, diving and into center field for a base hit. Stosher couldn't get to it. It's a 2-1 lead. And Ralston will have their first lead today. RBI single for Sticks. He's now 2 for 3, and Ralston will lead it here with one out in the bottom of the fifth. Good piece of hitting there from Sticks. And that fly ball to left field that moved him up into third forced the infield to come in. And on that ground ball, it wasn't a hard hit ground ball, but with the infield in, it got through. So now here is Josh Hendricks, who's been hit by a pitch twice. First pitch will miss, low and away for ball one. That was pitch number, let's see here, once it fully updates for me. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Here to Hendricks. Runner takes off. That's swinging a foul back for a strike. That was pitch number 70 from Templeton. You can still get a ground ball, get out of this inning. Keep this a 2-1 ball game. The Eights will have 4, 5, and 6 due up in the top of the sixth inning. Here's the 1-1 pickoff attempt and back in safely. That one skipped off the glove of Alec Eilers. Might actually hit Sticks over at first as well. Still a 1-1 count here with one out in the bottom of the fifth. Templeton from the stretch. Here's the 1-1. Runner takes off, didn't get a great jump to throw, and unable to make the catch to the side of the bag was Stosher, so a stolen base for Sticks. And he is in scoring position as well. Eilers just missed that throwing spot a little bit farther to the left. Again, Sticks didn't have a great jump on it. The count goes also 2-1 here with the runner now in scoring position again with one out in the bottom of the fifth. That'll bounce in. And the count's now 3-1. This will be pitch number 73 from Templeton now. Potentially could be that last batter. Because then you also get the point that the threshold does not matter if you're facing the batter or not. Here's a 3-1 pitch. It'll be ball four. And it's first and second. And Coach Iverson will make the walk out there again. Because if he hits 79 pitches and the count's 3-2, he's got to come out of the ball game to keep him available for Wednesday. And so if you're Coach Iverson, you say, let's just get him out now so we can save him and we can have a clean batter. And that's exactly what they're going to do. So Templeton will come out after 73 pitches. Jackson Goodman's going to come into the ball game, but we will step aside and tell you the changes after this. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Your mornings shouldn't start in chaos. At Pierre Closets, we create custom closets, laundry rooms, mudrooms, and more designed to change how your day starts, lowering stress, lifting your mood, and helping you get out the door on time. Manufactured locally in Pierre, our solutions are built around how you live. Reclaim your time by reclaiming your space. Call Pierre Closets at 605-223-5855 for a free in-home design consultation. Pierre Closets, organized for life.
When you're in the need for high-quality replacement auto parts, look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the parts you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
As we welcome you back, it is Jackson Goodman on the mound making his Senior Legion debut on the hill, as he will have first and second with one out in this bottom of the fifth inning, and he'll deal with 5, 6, and 7, trying to keep this a 2-1 deficit right now in this bottom of the fifth inning, as Carter Templeton, he can't close the book on him yet, but he didn't go 4 in the third inning. giving up 3 hits, the 2 runs right now, but he's responsible for the 2 guys who are on base. He had 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. 73 pitches, so again, that leaves him available on Wednesday to take on a post 320. And again, for Goodman, obviously coming in here in this 5th inning, probably not too concerned on where his pitch count is at, because probably not good things have happened if he's throwing 80 pitches in 2 2/3 innings. But it is still here for Kason Fuccio, the catcher. Chance to extend this lead out as the first pitch is over for strike 1 from Goodman. His Senior Legion debut on the hill. Didn't throw in the high school season either, I don't believe. And I'll go back and check, but I don't believe he threw it all during at least the varsity side of the high school season. 0-1 pitch. There's a ground ball to Lindekugel, who will make the tag at third, but he will not make the throw to first, so it is just a fielder's choice, and a wise decision to hold on to it. And so a 5U fielder's choice. Sticks is retired, and it's now first and second here with 2 outs. Again, the courtesy runner will come on as Vlichek will run for Fuccio. And Landon Graham, who was 1 for 2 to the plate. He had the infield bunt single back in the bottom of the second. Flew out to left. The diving catch by Hudson Schaefer that kept the ball game at 1-1. The bases loaded with 2 outs. So he's able to make the diving catch. If he does not, it's a 4-1 ball game at that point. This first pitch is popped up into shallow left field. Hudson Stozier will call for it. He'll make the catch, and that will end the inning. And a good job by Jackson Goodman to get out of it without any damage done. But 1 run does score on 1 hit in the inning. There are no errors and 2 men left on base. We head to the top of the 6th. It is a 2-1 lead for Ralston over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR. And you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
When the South Dakota sun is beating down, your home should be your sanctuary. But a broken air conditioner can turn your living room into a hot oven fast. Whether you need a quick repair or a full system replacement, AirTech Heating and Cooling is on the job. Our licensed technicians are available 24/7 for those unexpected emergencies. We pride ourselves on 100% customer satisfaction and quality service you can trust. Call 605-945-0160. AirTech Heating and Cooling, locally owned and keeping the Pierre area comfortable for over 20 years.
When life throws you a curveball, May Adam Law Firm in Pierre is here to help you knock it out of the park. For over 130 years, we've been providing trusted legal expertise in business, family law, criminal defense, and more. Proud sponsors of this season's baseball action, we're committed to serving our community both on and off the field. Need legal advice? Step up to the plate with May Adam Law Firm. Visit mayadam.net or call today. May Adam, South Dakota's law firm since 1881.
It is the top of the 6th, and the Pierre Post 8 down 2-1 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. As it will be 4, 5, and 6. Will Eilers, Bridger Babcock, and Alec Eilers. As real quick to say thanks to Andy Furman, 2 1/3 innings pitched on the high school JV team for Jackson Goodman. So obviously not unfamiliar with pitching, but didn't pitch a lot during the spring with just only 2 1/3 innings. So to this point, but he did a really good job of getting the fielder's choice and the pop out in the shallow left field to get out of that inning and allow Carter Templeton just those 2 runs on 4 1/3. But again, appreciate Andy Furman listening and sending in those quick stats updates, as that one is upstairs for ball 1 to Will Eilers, who is 0 for 2. Flew out to right and also ground out to the shortstop. Just 4 hits so far for the Eights. That one is at the bottom of the zone. The count's now 1-1. Only 3 hits for Ralston. So 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors for Ralston. 1 run on 4 hits and 1 error for the Eights as we play here in this top of the 6th inning. 2-1 count. Here to Will Eilers. There's a ground ball to the shortstop, backhanded by Vandervoort. His throw to first. He has been smooth over there on the shortstop position, and Will Eilers is gone in the top of the 6th inning, and it brings up Bridger Babcock to the plate. By the way, Jackson Goodman now hitting number 9 in the batting order, so as this is number 5 man. He's got a little bit of ways, but as he will be able to hit regardless in this ball game, even if he want it to be that case. But no matter what, he'll be able to hit even if there's 2 outs to the top of the 7th and nobody's reached base. He'll still be able to swing the bat at least once. There's a swing and a miss by Bridger Babcock. He's walked twice. Stranded at first in the top of the first, then stranded at second in the 4th. That one's over for a strike. He's the only guy that has walked so far for the Eights, and the count's 0-2 now to him. Everybody else has had to earn their way on with a base hit. No fielder or no hit by pitch. No, that one almost hit him. Just about to say nobody's been hit by a pitch. Been no errors. Babcock's earned the walks, and the other 4 hits by the Eights been the only 6 base runners by Blaufus. That one is outside, and the count's now 2-2. Blaufus from the windup delivers a 2-2 pitch, and Babcock will be, I think, called out on a strike 3. There's now 2 down. Don't know if he swung all the way through or not, but it brings up Alec Eilers, who is 0 for 1, had a sacrifice bunt back in the top of the 4th, 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the 6th. Ralston leads it 2-1 over Pierre. First pitch, that one's over for strike 1. Again, if Ralston wins, they're now 1-1. And they will take on Columbus Cornerstone. That'll be a big game for Columbus being 1-0, and if Ralston's able to still win this pool, they have to really win that game. Again, 2 losses pretty much effectively eliminate you from winning the pool. Here's the 0-2 to Alec Eilers. That's upstairs, and the count's now 1-2. I think the only way that it wouldn't necessarily eliminate you is probably, like right now, Pierre has only given up 2 runs. And if you lose a 1-0 game or something like that, because runs allowed, I think, is the first tiebreaker. Here's a ground ball to the left side. That'll be a foul ball just to the left side of the bag over at third. And the count remains at 1-2. Again, the tiebreaker is obviously overall record head-to-head, but then total runs allowed will be the first one. So while it stands at a 2-1 game right now, it would favor Pierre a little bit with the fact that they had a complete game shutout and then only 2 runs given up to this point. As that one, again, fouled back by Alec Eilers. Next pitch to him. Will miss low. And the count is at 2-2. 2 outs and nobody on here at the top of the 6th. That one is outside, and it runs the count full at 3-2. The catcher in Fusio was set up outside. The spot was hit, but it was too far out. 3-2 pitch. Comes inside for ball 4, and that will end up being the 3rd walk issued by Blaufus. First time that he has walked someone other than Bridger Babcock, and it's now Hudson Schaefer with 2 outs and a runner on at first. So 2 away. Runner is on at first. See if Schaefer can find a gap somewhere. First pitch swinging, and he skies it up in the infield. The first baseman will come over to call for it, and he will make the catch as the entire infield converged on it. And Freeze will take care of the inning here at the top of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 2-1 lead for Ralston over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota in Pierre is proud to sponsor today's game. Whether you're in the market for a brand new Ford, Lincoln, or Toyota, or a quality pre-owned vehicle, our team is here to get you back on the road in style. From tough trucks to family SUVs, we've got the selection you need and the hometown service you deserve. Browse online anytime at CapitalCityFordToyota.com. Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, where community drives us forward. As we welcome you back, it is the bottom of the sixth. And it is going to be 7-8-9 for Ralston, leading 2-1. Jason Miner, Umlechi, and Henry Fries. As the first pitch is fouled away and out of play for strike one. Miner's 0 for 2, grounded to a fielder's choice, and then also grounded out to the third baseman. Here's the 0-1 curveball that just misses inside. The count's 1-1. Pierre will have 8-9-1 in the top of the seventh. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a full swing, and it's now 1-2. Miner didn't really want to offer at it, but got too far twisted around. Makes it a 1-2 count. Here's the 2-2. 1-2, excuse me. Now makes it 2-2. Here to the leadoff man in the bottom of the sixth, and Jason Miner. 2-2. That's outside. Runs the count full at 3-2. Here's the leadoff man. Overall, Jackson Goodman had 3 appearances, that 0 ERA and a .43 whip during the high school season for JV side. That one to be fouled out of play. And the count remains full at 3-2. And this is 7-8-9 here for Ralston in this bottom of the sixth. 3-2. Chopper that is foul on the third base side. And we'll do it again here at the full count. Talked about being 8-9-1 for Pierre. The one thing too, and obviously being a one-run game, but it's an 8-run rule after 5 or 6. So this will hit the helmet. So it was going to be ball 4, but it hits the helmets of Jason Miner and puts him on base. It skipped off the helmet, so not nearly as painful at all. He's on at first. Lead things off at the bottom of the sixth. And if they would score, they only have to score 7 runs, being a one-run game right now. You're not expecting that to happen, but it is a different scenario than what it has been in, when other games where it's a 10-run rule after 5. Here's a high fly ball to left field, but that would be Hudson Schaefer right there underneath it. He'll make the catch for the first out. Bletchy had an RBI fielder's choice back in the bottom of the second that tied the game. He's now 0 for 3 overall with an RBI. And it brings up Henry Fries to the plate, who's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts to the shortstop, Hudson Stosher.
Twice.
So number 9 man of the plate. Top of the order is waiting on deck for Ralston. Pickoff attempt, and that will get away from Alec Eilers on a long throw that was too far away from him. Rounding second over to third will go Miner. And so the second throwing error by the Eights, both coming on pickoff attempts, moves the runner from first to third with only 1 out. That takes away the double play, and the Eights will have to come in all the way around to keep this a 2-1 deficit. And really, you go back to that first time that throwing error happened. Here's a fly ball that will at least get the run home. Fries back towards the wall. It's going to get off the wall, and it will be an RBI double at least for Fries. He'll stop there at second, and it is now a 3-1 ball game. So Fries drives in the insurance run here in the bottom of the sixth. And it brings up the top of the order in Braden Vandervoort. We're going to have maybe a pinch runner. With one out here in the bottom of the 6th. Again, that can be a difference maker. Trying to get some speed out there at second. As Dallas Wetzel will be the man that will run for Freeze. With one out here in the bottom of the 6th, but the first time that it happened for the Eights, the only thing that, Templeton threw it wide of the first base bag, but they had the man picked off, and that run didn't actually end up scoring. It ended up being later, but it could have been a different story and could have kept it a 1-0 game. Here, that shot by Freeze probably scores a runner from first. Not likely that he was going to be picked off, but I think Hendricks, who ended up at second, he was going to be picked off because he was late to get back to the bag. Here's a line shot to Lindekugel at third. He'll make the catch for the second out. And there's now 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th, and it brings up now Brody Jenkins, who is 0 for 3. Jenkins struck out looking. He flew out to center and then lined out to left, or flew out to left. As he waits on the first pitch, that one will miss low for ball 1. So now the Eights will have to score at least 2 in the top of the 7th. And they have 8, 9, and 1. Johnson, Goodman, and then Stosher. But they got to make sure that they get out of this inning and keep this a 2-run deficit. As the 1-0 pitch, that's lined to right field. That will get down for a base hit. Johnson will come up with it. He'll throw it to Alec Eilers, and it's going to be an RBI single to make it a 4-1 ball game. And a good piece of hitting for Brody Jenkins adds on another RBI. And so it's now a 4-1 lead for Ralston here at the top of the bottom of the 6th inning, and it brings up Cade Sticks to the plate. Sticks is 2 for 3 with an RBI single back in the bottom of the 5th. That gave Ralston the 2-1 lead. And so with 2 outs, again, going to try and get out of this inning, keep this deficit now at 3. And find a way to score 3 runs in that top of the 7th inning. As here's the first pitch that is fouled back for strike 1. I believe that Harrisburg may have just gotten walked off on an inside the park home run on the field behind us. Runner takes off. Here's a ground ball to the third baseman. Lindekugel has to charge. His throw to first is low, but scooped out at first by Alec Eilers, and that will take care of the inning. Good play there by Eilers over at first. But 2 runs do score in the inning. On 2 hits, there was an error and 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the 7th. The Eights are down their final 3 outs, and they're down by 3, 4-1 to Ralston. Back in a minute on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC. It is the top of the 7th, and it is a 4-1 lead for Ralston over Pierre. Daniel Blaufus has 90 pitches. He's got 15 to work with, and he deals with 8, 9, and 1 with Aiden Johnson, Jackson Goodman in the top of the order, and Hudson Stosher with a 3-run lead. That first pitch will miss for ball 1. Went off the catcher's glove, then off the home plate umpire, but he is okay. And Johnson 1 for 2, an infield single back in the bottom of the 2nd, or make that the top of the 2nd. That one will be catching the bottom of the zone. The count is even at a ball and a strike. And again, the Eights will be back here tonight, 7:15 with coverage around there and a 7:30 first pitch. Our final game of the day here at the Sanford Sports Complex. That'll be high and inside. The count's now 2-1. Ralston will play again against Columbus, and then Columbus will take on Yankton. Yankton will take on Kindred, and Kindred then will take on Pierre. Here's a line shot to center field. That's what you need to start the top of the seventh. It's a base hit for Aiden Johnson. And the leadoff man on here to kick off the top of the seventh. And Coach Tom Cooper for the this Ralston team, you know, he's got a decision to make on who he wants to go to next. He probably already had that decision made well before the game even started who the next guy was going to be, but Blaufus has given him at least 6 full innings and working in here the seventh. The first pitch to Jackson Goodman will miss for ball 1. His first opportunity to swing the bat. Carter Templeton went 0 for 2 during his time on the mound. Goodman went 1 for 2 yesterday with a double and a sacrifice bunt as well. That one comes high and inside. And the count's now 2-0 here to Goodman. Here in the top of the seventh and a 4-1 lead for Ralston. They are 0-1 here in the pool. Pierre at 1-0 in the pool. Runner takes off. That throw to second, and Johnson will slide in safely. That pitch missed as well, and the count is now at 3-0. And so Johnson moves out of that, keeps that double play out of line right now. 3-0 pitch will be over for a strike, and the count's now 3-1. 3-1 count here to Jackson Goodman. Good hitters count here for Goodman. 3-1. That one will miss for ball 4, and so the tying run will come to the plate here with nobody out in this top of the seventh. And there's also the top of the order on top of it all. First and second, Hudson Stosher, who is 2 for 3. He comes to the plate. He represents the tying run right now for the Eights here in this top of the seventh. Here's the first pitch. Swinging a ground ball over to the shortstop. The throw to second for 1. Back to first. It's going to be high, so they do get that runner at second and Goodman for the first out. Johnson was over at third, and it's first and third here with 1 out, and it brings up Porter Hunsley to the plate. 6-4 on the fielder's choice. Tying run stays at the plate right now for the Eights. Hunsley 1 for 3, an infield single that made it a 1-0 lead back at the top of the first, just 2 batters in, but since then the Eights have not been able to score. They have their first guy on at third since the leadoff triple by Stosher. I say leadoff triple, lead off the ball game, that triple by Stosher. I guess Hunsley ended up over at third by the end of it all, and Johnson was at third in the second. So since Johnson was on at third in the top of the second, he is the first man to reach to third base. Runner takes off for second. The throw to second, and they are going to tag out Stosher for the second out. Trying to put him in square position, get out of the double play, but he is thrown out, and there's now 2 down here in the top of the seventh. With the 1-1 count. And the Eights all of a sudden are quickly down to their final outs. There's a line shot into left field. That will get down for a base hit to make it a 4-2 ball game. And again, the tying run will come back to the plate. Second RBI for Porter Hunsley. And so now here with 2 away, it is Trip Linda Kugel to the plate. You're listening to KCCR Pierre, Riverfront Broadcasting Station. Linda Kugel with a runner on at first and 2 outs. This will be pitch number 104, so this will be the last batter for Blaufus as that first pitch is on the outside edge for strike 1. Blaufus will come set from the stretch. Here's the 0-1. That's upstairs. Evens the count at 1-1. He's 0 for 3 right now as Linda Kugel. Trying to pass along to Will Eilers. Represents the tying run. Standing at the plate right now. 1-1. Fouled back, and the count's now 1-2, and the Eights again are down to their final strike here in this first game of 2 today. It's not a doubleheader, it's a split day-night doubleheader, morning-evening doubleheader, morning-night doubleheader. Here's the 1-2. That is outside. Good take there by Linda Kugel. That's a tough take, but he does take it. The count's now 2-2. Two. Swinging a fly ball to right field. Moving to the right is the right fielder in Graham. He'll make the catch, and that will end the ball game. And the Eights will fall just short of trying to make the comeback happen, and Blaufus will go with a complete game. 1 run scored in the top of the 7th on 2 hits, no errors, and a man left on. 4-2 is our final. We'll come back in 2 minutes and wrap it up here from the Sanford Sports Complex for now. Back in 2 minutes here on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. As welcome you back. Oh, there we go. How about that? Well, now as we get you back here on the radio on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports, it is a final score 4-2 as Ralston knocks off Pierre with that score of 4-2. Pierre took a 1-0 lead with a Porter Hunsley infield single after a leadoff triple by Hudson Stosher. And then the Eights got the other RBI on the single by Porter Hunsley to drive in Aiden Johnson. But that at that point made it 4-2, and the Eights had the tying run at the plate, but unable to score that tying run. Ralston tied the game with a fielder's choice. Boone Bletchley had a RBI fielder's choice to make it a 1-1 tie. And then in the 5th inning, the RBI single by Kate Sticks made that a 2-1 ball game. And then two runs scoring in the bottom of the 6th inning. Henry Fries with the RBI double, Brody Jenkins the RBI single, and it made it a 4-1 game at the time and makes it a 4-2 final. As Daniel Blaufus goes the distance, he goes all 7 innings with the win, 6 hits allowed, 2 runs, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts on 108 pitches. Jackson Goodman in relief of Carter Templeton goes an inning and 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, no walks and no strikeouts on 17 pitches, so he would be available to pitch again later on today, staying under that 17 pitch, staying with just 17 pitches. Carter Templeton will pick up the loss of 4 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts in 73 pitches. He is available to throw again on Wednesday against Rapid City Post 320. It was 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 8 men left on base for Ralston. 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, and 7 men left on base for Pierre. Time of the ball game was an hour and 38 minutes here this morning. We have not hit the afternoon yet. And that is a look at your line totals through the first game today. The Eights will play the final game tonight at 7:30 this evening. We'll have coverage around 7:15 with that first pitch at 7:30 here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. But that will wrap it up for us now here this morning. We'll be back at 7:30. Ralston now 1-1 in the pool play. Pierre at 1-1. Kindred Vikings is the opponent coming up at 7:30 tonight. If they were to lose to Yankton, or Columbus is at 2-3-0 maybe as well, Pierre could win that game. There's still an opportunity for them to win. If Columbus would beat Ralston, who is coming up next, they beat Yankton, and then Yankton beats Kindred, Pierre beats Kindred, all of a sudden that leads to then Pierre and Columbus being the final game to determine who wins the pool coming up on Sunday. But that is all of that has to happen on Saturday today before we get to that point, and we'll see where we stand at the end of our day today when we get back on the air coming up at 7:15 tonight. So it is a final score, though. It is a 4-2 win for Ralston over Pierre. The Eights are now 1-1 here at the Dakota Classic, as they will be playing later on tonight at 7:30, with coverage at 7:15 here this evening on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. I want to say thanks to Cindy Carlson back at the station. John Wickley here signing off for now, back at 7:15 tonight. 4-2 win for Ralston over Pierre, as we say so long for the Sanford Sports Complex.
You've been listening to Pierre Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Pierre Baseball is brought to you by Kathy's Sun and Shine Properties, Kruger Contracting, Bank West, Overhead Doors, Stalkin Peterson LLP, Shane's Pharmacy, Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, CHS River Plains, Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Ferding Electric, Pierre Closets, Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, and AGE. Pierre Baseball is also brought to you by Edward Jones Financial, Gales Gas, Lamb Motors, Xander Auto Parts, Comtech, First Dakota National Bank, Envirotech, Kruger Climate Systems, May Adam, Hunsley Auto Body, Oahe Federal Credit Union, Cone Egg, AirTech Heating and Cooling, Pierre Roofing and Gutters, Wagner Auto, the South Dakota Office of the Attorney General Division of Consumer Protection, and Todd's Electric. Join us all season for more Pierre Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. This has been a special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports, Central South Dakota's sports leader.